So, to get this out of the way right now, spoiler alert, this is all Superman's fault. Don't believe me? Just listen.
So, what are the odds that thing is friendly? uh,
Slim to none. We need a plan.
right. Bruce.
He's right, Cal. Until we know more, we need to treat this like an incursion waiting in the wings.
I understand your caution, really. But that thing hasn't even fired a warning shot yet.
Yet.
I'm with Cal on this one. Diplomacy first, lead by example. Isn't that what we do?
Okay, we try the warm fuzzies first, then, if things go sideways, we bust out the anti-UFO bat spray. Deal?
I don't like it.
I know, Bruce. And if I'm honest, neither do I. But we have an example to set. Especially today.
This Brainiac wants to open negotiations aboard his ship. It's a trap.
Agreed. That much is apparent.
I hear you both, but we have to go in good faith. What if I had come to Earth and...
Cal, buddy, I mean, let's be real. You didn't show up in a giant skull.
I didn't choose how I got here, Flash. Now, I'll admit it's not the most infighting presence, but if we can avoid fighting altogether, we owe it to the people of Metropolis to try. They know the strength of the League, everyone does. Now let's show them our heart, our compassion.
Our recklessness. We can't just leave Metropolis undefended.
We'll be in the thick of it, Bruce. Talks get nasty, we toss that thing right back into space.
We're in this together, gang. The five of us united, there's nothing we can't do. Let's show them our intentions.
You know what they say about good intentions, Clark.
I'm making an offer to you, Justice League. As my lieutenants, I will unlock your full potential to serve me.
This planet doesn't need you to unlock its potential, Brainiac.
Really, Bruce Wayne? Your limited human body constantly outpaces by its mind. The process of integration is less painful if you permit it. Kal-El, surely you understand the gravity of what I'm offering. You can have Krypton again. A new Krypton, built in your image.
Listen to me, Brainiac, you're right. I do understand the pain of losing a planet. But what you're doing, this isn't the way to get Kolu back.
How wonderfully droll. And you, John Stewart. Isn't your oath to bring order to the universe?
Let me tell you about my oath. It says, no evil shall escape my sight.
Whatever happened in those other universes, Brainiac, you won't have this one! Buried now! Ugh, my head.
Sorry, Diana. I broke the sound barrier to get us out of there. If we'd stayed a second longer, that thing would have gotten us all. He got Cal. I mean, how did you even get Cal?
Kryptonite, for one. But that's not important right now, Barry.
Right. We need a plan. Do you have a plan?
Civilians. We need to start evacuating the city. Get as many people as far away from that ship as possible.
I'm on it. But then what?
Hera, help me.
As hopeful and optimistic Clark can be, this wasn't the way to go. Because this happened 13 times. I'll explain why in a bit, but let's review Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League.
That was pretty good, but it's my turn now.
Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League is an action-adventure shooter that was released worldwide on February 2nd, 2024 for Windows, Xbox Series S, and PlayStation 5. This game has been pushed back several times since its announcement back in 2020. If you want to know why, I have 3 videos explaining so. I will make a playlist and you can click the card above to watch. This game serves as a spin-off from the Batman Arkham games. It is also a continuation of the Arkham series set 5 years after the events of Arkham Knight. The story follows Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, King Shark, and Harley Quinn as they are forced by Amanda Waller to form Task Force X to journey to Metropolis to kill a corrupted Justice League. Spoilers obviously, so leave now if you want to experience the game for yourself. But right now, we're going to go over the story itself. We begin with a place we are all too familiar with, and that's Arkham Asylum. Amanda Waller, the director of Argus, has taken control of the facility. She has assembled a team of villains called Task Force X, which consists of Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, King Shark, and Harley Quinn. She deceives them by having each one of them plant a nanobomb in their heads. They are sent to Metropolis to counter an invasion of Brainiac and also a corrupted Justice League. Task Force X is then captured by Green Lantern, but then saved by the Flash, who has not been corrupted yet. He fights Green Lantern but is wounded. Task Force X grabs Flash and found cover, but they are all confronted and beaten by Batman. Damn. So that's what that feels like. How ironic will be on the other end of that. If you played the Arkham games, you know. Batman was about to kill Harley until Flash saved her. However, he was captured by Batman. Task Force X makes it to the Hall of Justice, and it will serve as the base of operations. They find Wonder Woman, who has not been corrupted by Brainiac. Waller wants Wonder Woman to work with them, but she wants no parts of them at all. Task Force X discovers that Green Lantern has put up a shield around Brainiac's ship, so they will have to gear up to fight Green Lantern eventually to get the shield down. However, Task Force X has other plans and heads to LexCorp because they are the manufacturers of the nanobombs and hopefully find a way to get them out or at least deactivate them. They were close, but Waller was one step ahead of them and took over LexCorp. Lex Luthor himself killed his assistant and deleted all information concerning Brainiac. Task Force X tracks Lex down, but it was too late due to now corrupted Flash kills Lex. Task Force X found an anti-Speed Force device and had Toyman recreated for the four of them to combat the Flash. After a long, confusing battle, they managed to kill the Flash. Green Lantern confronts Task Force X, but before he can kill them, they all escape to an alternate Earth. Yes, folks, the multiverse again.
Sick of it! I am done! I have held my composure. I have stayed calm. I have been silent and quiet and composed, and I am sick of it. Listen to me.
Stop! Just f***ing do something else! Just, god damn it! Do something else! Do something else! That's it! That's all we want! Do something else! Holy shit! Do something else! Holy shit! Stop sending me this bullshit! And then get mad when I don't like it! Jesus! God damn tap dancing Christ!
Anyway, as the team explores this alternate Earth, they find a Lex Luthor that is very much alive. With this help, they make it back to Earth 1, and it's revealed that Waller wants Brainiac's technology to control anyone indefinitely. And also, Lex of that Earth, before he was killed, knew of Brainiac's invasion for 2 years.
What? What the fuck?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm gonna get my gun.
Lex 2 equips Task Force X with a Yellow Lantern battery to combat Green Lantern. They find Green Lantern, and after an impressive fight, they killed him. Wonder Woman comes to mourn her fallen friend, but is warned by Task Force X to stay out of their way. With the shields down, Waller orders a nuclear strike on the Skull ship, but was stopped by a corrupted Superman.
Why? Why? Can I have a word with you, please? Why?
Wonder Woman fights him with a kryptonite shield, and their battle takes place across Metropolis, destroying everything. Brainiac forces attack the Hall of Justice, and the team heads out to save Waller. Wonder Woman and Superman fight concludes with her stabbing Superman with kryptonite, but it didn't kill him. Superman ended up killing Wonder Woman in the process. Her final words to Task Force X were to prove that she was wrong about them. Everyone is in awe that the kryptonite didn't kill Superman. Lex 2 figures out that Brainiac altered the League's DNA to rid them of imperfections. The only way to know for sure is to have a live sample to study. So they have to find Batman and bring him to Lex 2 alive. Task Force X heads out and search for the Batcave until they find it underground. They find a recording of Batman, and he discussed how to defeat Superman, but it was cut short due to Batman finding them. He used the fear toxin to mess with them, but thanks to Harley, they managed to break free. They defeat Batman and bring him to Lex 2, and he gets a sample to study. Lex 2 later makes a new form of kryptonite called gold kryptonite, which will dampen Superman's abilities. Task Force X used Batman as bait to lure Superman out by straight up murdering him, which the honors went to Harley. More on this in a bit. Superman shows up and they all begin to fight. This was the most heartbreaking fight I've ever experienced because I had to put down the Man of Steel. Part of me didn't want to, But to see how the story played out, I had to. As Task Force X began to celebrate, Brainiac captures them and promised them everything they always wanted, but they were saved by Lex 2. It was time to take the fight to Brainiac, and they head towards the ship to confront him. Brainiac confused himself with Flash's power, and if you thought the Flash's battle was confusing, this was also confusing and annoying. So after half an hour of this boss fight, they finally managed to defeat him. They bring him back to Walter and Lex 2, and it was revealed that Brainiac was working with multiple versions of himself throughout the multiverse. The game subsequently ends with Task Force X still under Walter's thumb as they prepare to take on 12 other Brainiacs. In the post-credit scene, we get a tribute to Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, has sadly passed away November 10th of 2022. This was supposed to be his final voice work of Batman, but it's reported that he will lend his voice for Batman one more time for Batman the Caped Crusader for Prime Video and for Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. So there will probably be 2 more tributes to the legendary actor that voiced Batman for over 30 years. Now I admit, this story is pretty basic, and it didn't take me that long to finish the story, maybe 2.5 days give or take, but it wasn't as convoluted as folks thought it was going to be. It was just basic and short, that's it. But maybe that's the point, because there's more to come throughout the year. Sometime in March we'll be getting the Joker, Elseworlds Joker mind you, as a playable character. Like Harley Quinn, and as I stated in previous videos, I will not be playing with the Joker if I can avoid it. That's just the God honest truth, so sue me. But speaking of playable characters, the one I played with the most was Deadshot for obvious reasons. I have gotten his traverse and fighting style down packed. However, the main thing I hate about his traverse is the cooldown time, especially during a boss fight. Boomerang came in second due to his Speed Force Gauntlet that gives him temporal powers of the Flash. I admit at first I had troubles using his traverse, but during the post story I managed to get the hang of it. King Shark I barely played due to... You know what, I really didn't care for King Shark gameplay. When certain missions demanded, I'll play it, maybe to get level up for post game, but other than that, nah. Harley Quinn, well, you already know how I feel about her. They are promoting her too damn much. Like, why couldn't you get Peacemaker and have John Cena voice him again, but instead you put him in Mortal Kombat? Wasteful opportunity if you ask me. But moving on. The gameplay is pretty easy to comprehend once you've done enough side missions throughout Metropolis. It makes great practice when you're on tough missions dealing with hordes of enemies. The weapons are awesome in my opinion, mainly the sniper rifles and SMGs, aka Uzis. You can pretty much unlock a lot of these just by doing missions on the hardest difficulty. And speaking of the hardest difficulty, or speaking of the difficulties in general, to be honest, there is not much of a difference except during the boss battles. So for those, I had to put it on the easiest difficulty because I wasn't going to be pulling my hair out. So if you try to clown me that I took the easy route, then your girlfriend got the OnlyFans that she let me subscribe for free. But I'm digressing from the weapons. There are a lot of weapons you can upgrade and craft when you visit Penguin, but it doesn't seem as much trouble as you think it is. You just have to really hustle out there. The grenades have different effects, so you can equip different ones for your team. Some grenades are so rare that they will only give you one slot, but you will probably find out post story. The Riddler is back, and as usual he's a pain in the ass since the first Arkham game. I managed to find a few Riddler trophies, but after that I didn't give a damn about them, because to me it's inconsequential to the overall story. For a long time before this game was released, a lot of fans were worried. Then once the early gameplay came out, most hated it. But personally, it grew on me. It became a guilty pleasure. To this day, I'm playing it now and can't wait for the next season. But most people who condemn this game have not bought the game and played it for themselves. Mainly because of how Batman was taken out by one bullet. But I have a theory on that. Batman had the training. Let me explain. Even though there's no real technique for resisting mind control, Batman has simply studied many different ways to avoid having his mind taken over completely. Because at first, Batman could have easily taken out Task Force X if he wanted to, but I felt like he helped them due to his willpower to break through just a little bit to help Task Force X prevail, because if he knew that Task Force X would find him eventually, why wouldn't he make a contingency plan? But maybe I'm thinking too much into it to give an excuse. But one thing I can agree on is that Harley taking him out was complete and utter trash. Wokeness strikes again, I guess. However, Kevin Conroy read the script of how Batman was going to go out, so he could have said no, could have got someone else to voice Batman, but like I said, he read the script, so he knew how he was going to get taken out, and he did it anyway, not knowing that that was going to be his last performance as Batman. But anyway, back to the wokeness part of it. I feel that the feminist agenda is going hard here because they had Wonder Woman as the last man standing and being an asshole to Task Force X until her demise. Also, her penis swinging contest between her and Amanda Waller was stupid. They realized they had a common enemy, but they still ended up not working together. I also think that people feel that the whole Justice League has been taken out in the worst way possible. But all those plans were that of two geniuses, Lex 2 and Batman. If you thought Task Force X thought of things on their own the entire time, then maybe you need to either play the game again, or for the ones who just going off word of mouth, play the game for your goddamn self.
Stupid motherfuckers. They got to be the stupidest motherfuckers.
Now there is this stupid theory going around that these are clones of the Justice League, and they are somewhere on Brainiac's ship. Now they based it off of the fact of before Flash was taken, Boomerang accidentally cut off the Flash's finger. But when they saw him again when he was corrupted, his finger grew back. Well, to debunk that, Brainiac altered the League's DNA of many imperfections, and possibly enhanced Flash's power, and his healing factor could went into overdrive. But also, Brainiac is not limited to regrowing limbs. Did you not see Justice League Unlimited when a piece of Brainiac's programming was inside of Lex, and when Lex had cancer for a while, Brainiac started to grow, but he discovered the cancer and he had to correct it, which cured Lex of his cancer. So Brainiac regrowing limbs could be a walk in the park for him. I had posted this one video when I was fighting Superman. This one dude was trolling this other dude saying that the Justice League were clones and whatnot. And the guy that actually played the game, he played the game all the way through, and the troll would just keep going back and forth to him saying that the real Justice League is somewhere on Brainiac's ship. It's a pretty funny exchange. I'm gonna post a screenshot, so be sure to pause to read. At first I thought the guy spoiled the game because, mind you, I have not completed the game when I saw those comments. So if that was indeed the truth, it would have took away the ending from this game. But once I got to the end myself, it is indeed in fact that the Justice League is dead. But I guess one can hope if this could happen when you finally beat the last Brainiac. We would just have to wait and see. But as of right now, the Justice League is dead. Because quite honestly, I will hope that they are actually dead, because if you're going to go with a title like Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, then this game has to be for keeps. No bait and switch. Now before I forget, unfortunately there are microtransactions for this game, mainly for different looks for Task Force X, but if I can be real about it, I ain't doing that shit at all. I would just use the only outfits I have to make it my game. I'm not buying chips just to purchase different outfits. If you do that, more power to you, but that's just not my thing. Now Task Force X themselves are likable, expect the banter and the mistrust, but over time they became friends. Digger Harkness, aka Captain Boomerang, in the beginning is pretty selfish and often don't mind putting children in danger like he did with New Poison Ivy and Toyman. He often gets his intelligence insulted with the team and Waller, but that doesn't mean he can't stop from kicking ass. He had a personal vendetta against the Flash due to be part of Flash's Rose Gallery in the comics, but I guess he got his satisfaction on killing the Flash. Well, helped kill the Flash. There was a female version of himself in Lex 2's universe, but ended up dying. It is unknown if he's racist due to some dialogue in the game, but it was never proven. By the end of the story, he became loyal to his team and let it be known that Brainiac should fear him. This King Shark is leagues above the one in the movies and TV show. I feel like his character is more intelligent but a bit naive. Even though he's taller and bigger than his team, I feel like he gets treated like the little brother of the group. He did briefly become a Green Lantern to help lower the shields, but I don't know if the ring was rejecting him or if the ring was also corrupted due to Brainiac. It's unclear, but the rest of the team helped him get rid of it. By the end of the story, he accepted Waller's accommodations once everything was over, plus a hot tub. Now, I believe they retconned some of Harley's origins from the Arkham games and comics, because from every game and comic, Harley was totally in love with the Joker and wanted him once he died. But this version of Harley was a complete 180. I get 5 years had passed, but she goes on to see that she hated the Joker the entire time. I don't know, maybe over time she came to her senses that she was in an abusive relationship with him and regretted grieving him. But this was a device due to wokeness and plug Harley Quinn as much as possible, whether it be in video games, animated series, movies, comic books, etc. I admit I enjoyed Harley in the live action with Margot Robbie, but quite frankly, I'm tired of her. Well, Harley Quinn, that is. To be honest, she can't be the face of DC if she's only a street level character. Oh, let me shut up before they retcon her character again and make her like Wanda Maximoff and whisper, "No more Justice League." Floyd Lawton, aka Deadshot, is pretty much the same from any version of the character. Estranged parent from his daughter Zoe, and is the world's most deadly assassin. But one thing we all notice from Deadshot is that, well, I'll let Boomerang say it.
Isn't Deadshot supposed to be white?
Aren't you supposed to be shutting your damn mouth?
Well, there is a perfect explanation for that, stupid as it is. Another retcon for a character in the Arkhamverse. You see, the Deadshot that we saw in the Arkham games was a copycat, or a doppelganger from another Earth. I got all this information from the codex of the main menu, or the pause menu. The Argus tapes, if you collect them all, tells the story of why there's two Deadshots, or why was Deadshot white in the regular Arkham games and why is this Deadshot black. See, the one that we see in the game is the real Deadshot. During the Arkham games, he was retired and moved on with his life, but the copycat put his life in danger, so you had to step in and show the copycat that you don't want to put dirt on his name. So the copycat had to go. However, this caught the attention of Green Lantern John Stewart, which made the two have ill will towards each other. Made sense if you listen to the Argus tapes, like I said. But one thing that had my stomach turning was that two black men were putting each other down. I couldn't even begin to count how many times Green Lantern called Deadshot convict. It probably would have been more controversial if it was Hal Jordan Green Lantern calling Deadshot convict. So I guess another black man calling another black man convict was the safer route. This further proves my theory that on God's green earth, black men is totally despised, no matter the circumstances. Anyway, Deadshot got his retribution with the help of his team by shutting up Green Lantern once and for all. Now, the version of Brainiac that I pull towards to the most is the one from Superman in the animated series. Now, that version wants to copy all knowledge and destroy the original from whence that knowledge came from. But as years went by, I saw different versions of Brainiac that had different motivations. For example, in the game, Brainiac wants to recreate his entire planet, Kolu, but he doesn't want to stop there. He wants to do the same thing in the entire multiverse. By the beginning of the game, he was right on track until he was defeated by Task Force X. Well, one of them at least. I believe that he is the weakest of the 13, and it will only get harder for Task Force X once more DLC releases. Now, I thought I was going to hate this game like everyone else, but despite the woke elements, I kind of like this game. Maybe this will be my Fortnite and put over 100 hours in this game. But I'm pretty sure my opinion won't be respected after this. Hell, to ask the question, was it respected from the beginning? So what do you think of this game? Let me know in the comments. That's all for today. If there's a video game, anime, movie, comic book, or TV show you want me to take a look at and review, let me know in the comments. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I'll catch you all next time.